This is lesson 459, and in this lesson, we are going to spell words that all contain the letter Y. The letter Y has 6 jobs or 6 functions, and let's go over those 6 jobs or 6 functions. The letter Y can function as either a vowel or consonant in a word. The letter Y as a vowel within a word is marked as any other vowel normally would be marked. The letter Y is used at the end of English words, not the letter I. In English, Y as a vowel has no sound of its own, and instead normally represents the short and long sounds of the vowel I. Keep in mind, however, that the vowel Y can represent 2 long sounds. The first long sound of Y is the long I sound. The second long sound of Y is the long E sound. When Y represents the sound E, as in baby, double underline the Y to indicate that the vowel Y is representing its second long sound. The letter Y is a vowel in every position in a word except when it is the first letter in a syllable. When the letter Y is the first letter in a syllable, it is then a consonant and no mark is made to it. As I mentioned, we have 6 jobs for the letter Y, and let's go over those 6 jobs. Job 1. The letter Y represents the short I sound when it is the only vowel in a syllable and is followed by a consonant, as in the word gym. Job 2. When the letter Y is at the end of a one-syllable word and Y is the only vowel in the syllable, the letter Y represents long sound of I, as in the word by. Job 3. The letter Y occurring by itself at the end of any syllable after the first syllable in a word normally represents the long sound of E, as in baby. Sometimes the letter Y at the end of any syllable after the first syllable will represent the long sound of I, as in lullaby. So the first long sound of Y is the long I sound, as in by or lullaby. The second long sound of Y is the long E sound, as in the word baby. When Y makes its second long sound, double underline the Y. Job 4. When 2 vowels in one syllable are separated by 1 or more consonants, and the first vowel is the letter Y, and the second vowel is a silent letter E, then the letter Y represents the long sound of I, and the letter E is silent, as in the word style. Job 5. The letter Y is part of the vowel teams AY, EY, and OY. In these 3 teams, the letter Y is silent, and we have examples for each of those teams: pay, key, and boy. And job 6, the letter Y is a consonant at the beginning of any syllable in a word, such as in yard and yo-yo, and Y as a consonant represents the sound y. So let's review the 6 jobs of Y. Job 1, when you have Y in a syllable followed by a consonant, Y will represent the short I sound. Job 2. When you have Y at the end of a one-syllable word, normally Y represents the long I sound, as in the word by. However, Job 3 indicates when Y is at the end of 2 or more syllables, normally Y will represent the long E sound. When Y represents the long E sound, we double underline the Y. And we do this because Y has 2 long sounds. The first long sound for Y is I, as in by. Look back at Job 2. And no special mark is made to the Y there. But when Y represents the long E sound, as in Job 3 with the word baby, we double underline the Y to indicate that Y is representing its second long sound. And then you'll see in Job 4, when Y comes in the middle of the word, and it's followed by a consonant and then a silent E, then the Y is going to represent the long I sound, as in the word style. Now, Job 5, we have Y as part of three vowel teams, AY, EY, and OY. The Y is silent in all three of those teams. AY represents the long A sound, as in pray. EY represents the long E sound, as in key. And OY represents the OI sound, as in toy. And then finally, when Y is at the beginning of any syllable in a word, it's a consonant and represents the sound Y. And now I'm going to dictate 10 rows of words that all contain Y, and we'll have ample opportunity to discuss all the various jobs of Y as they are presented within these words. We begin with row 1. Hymnal. Hymnal. The congregation took out their hymnal books and began to sing. Hymnal. 2 syllables. The first syllable is hymn, 3 sounds. H, I, Null, 3 sounds. N, aw, ul. Hymnal. Now the first thing we do is look for teams. If a letter represents its second sound, we double underline that letter or letter team. And if we have a silent E in the word, we underline that silent E. None of those elements are present in this word. So the next step is to identify our vowel sounds. We have 2 vowel sounds in this word. Next, we divide the word into syllables. And finally, we associate vowel group numbers with our vowel sounds. And the word is hymnal. When Y is in the middle of the word, followed by a consonant, the Y will represent the short I sound, and that's vowel group 1. Remember, Y as a vowel has no sound of its own. It basically, think of it as an I. So whatever I would do in the context of the word you're looking at, that's what the Y is going to do in terms of the sound it represents most of the time. And we put an 8 under the A because A is representing its extra sound here, aw. Remember, when a word ends in A followed by L, A will normally represent its extra sound, aw. Supply. Supply. I will supply the team with jerseys. Supply. 2 syllables. First syllable sup, 3 sounds. S, p. Ply, 3 sounds. P, ul, I. Supply. Now the first thing we do is we look for teams. We look to see if a letter is representing its second sound. And we identify a silent E if there is one. None of those elements are present in this word. Next, we identify our vowel sounds. We have 2 vowel sounds here. Next, we apply syllable division. And finally, we associate vowel group numbers with our vowels. And the word is supply. Now, oftentimes, Y at the end of 2 or more syllables will represent the long E sound, as in baby. If that were the case, we would double underline the Y, because that's the second long sound for Y. But in supply, Y is representing the long I sound. That's the first long sound for Y, so no special mark is made to the Y. Python. Python. A python is a snake. Python. Pi, 2 sounds. P, I. Thon, 3 sounds. Th, ah, n. Python. Now, first we look for teams. We look to see if a letter is representing its second sound or if we have a silent E. In this word, we do have a team. Next, we identify our vowel sounds. And then we apply syllable division. Finally, we associate vowel group numbers with our vowel sounds. Here, Y is at the end of a syllable. Again, think of Y as the letter I. So when you have I at the end of a syllable, vowel group 2 would be in effect. The same for Y, and it's going to represent the long I sound. Python. Pylon. Pylon. The car ran over the pylon in the road. Pylon. Pi has 2 sounds. P, I. Lon, 3 sounds. Ul, ah, n. Pylon. Now at this point, I'm going to ask you to pause the video, mark the word, and once you've completed marking the word, advance the video screen and see if you've marked the word correctly. Pylon. Row 2, rely. Rely. We all rely upon your guidance. Rely. Re, 2 sounds. R, E. Lie, 2 sounds. L, I. Rely. Pause the video, mark the word, and then advance the video. Rely. Vinyl. Vinyl. I have old vinyl albums. Vinyl. Vi, 2 sounds. V, I. Nil, 3 sounds. N, I, ul. Vinyl. Mark the word. Vinyl. Here, in the second syllable, Y is followed by a consonant. Vowel group 1 is in effect. Y is representing the short I sound. By. By. Why don't you come by and see me? By. 2 sounds. B, I. By. Mark the word. By. Hereby. Hereby. We hereby declare a moratorium. Hereby. Here has 3 sounds. H, E, By, 2 sounds. B, I. Hereby. Mark the word. Hereby. Row 3. Thereby. Thereby. We thereby request you consider our proposal. Thereby. There has 3 sounds. Th, E, By, 2 sounds. B, I. Thereby. Mark the word. Thereby. Notice TH is representing its second sound, which is th. That's the voiced sound for TH. That's the sound where the vocal cord vibrates when you make that sound. The first sound for TH is the voiceless sound, which is th. And also notice under the E, we have the 3 underlined because vowel group 3 is present here, but the E is representing the short sound, not the long sound. Pry. Pry. It is not polite to pry. Pry. 3 sounds. P, R, I. Pry. Mark the word. Pry. Hydrant. Hydrant. There is a fire hydrant down the street. Hydrant. High, 2 sounds. H, I. Drant. 5 sounds. D, R, A, N, T. Hydrant. Mark the word. Hydrant. As you can see, the DR here is a blend. The D and the R need to remain together in the second syllable. We indicate DR as a blend here by putting half circles under the D and the R. The only time we mark blends is to protect them when they are in danger of being split up into separate syllables. Thy. Thy. Turn thy eyes towards the sky. Thy. 2 sounds. Th, I. Thy. Mark the word. Thy. Here again, TH is representing its voiced sound. Th. That's the second sound TH represents. Row 4. Sky. Sky. What a beautiful sky this morning. Sky. 3 sounds. S, K, I. Sky. Mark the word. Sky. System. System. No system is perfect. System. Sis. 3 sounds. S, I, S. Tem. 3 sounds. T, E, M. System. Mark the word. system. Style. Style. I like your style. Style. 4 sounds. S, t, I, ol. Style. Mark the word. Style. Ally. Ally. She is an ally of ours. Ally. Al. 2 sounds. A, ul. Lie. 2 sounds. Ul, I. Al, lie. Mark the word. Al, lie. Row 5. Crystal. Crystal. The tiny crystal of ice sparkled in the sun. Crystal. First syllable, Chris. 4 sounds. K, R, I, S. Tall. 3 sounds. T, A, ul. Crystal. Mark the word. Crystal. Here, A is at the end of the word followed by L, representing its extra sound according to vowel group 8. Typhus. Typhus. Typhus is a terrible disease. Typhus. Tie. 2 sounds. T, I. Fuss. 3 sounds. F, s. Tie, fuss. Mark the word. Tie, fuss. Gyrate. Gyrate. The crowd did gyrate to the music. Gyrate. Gy, 2 sounds. J, I. Rate, 3 sounds. R, A, T. Gyrate. Mark the word. Gyrate. G is representing its second sound because when G is followed by E, I, or Y, it oftentimes will represent its second sound. Shy. Shy. Don't be shy. Shy. 2 sounds. Sh, I. Shy. Mark the word. Shy. Row 6. Physics. Physics. Physics was not my favorite subject in high school. Physics. First syllable, fi, 2 sounds. F, I. Zix, 4 sounds. Z, I, k, s. Physics. Mark the word. Physics. Hyphen. Hyphen. You must put a hyphen in that word. Hyphen. High, 2 sounds. H, I. Fen, 3 sounds. F, e, n. High fen. Mark the word. High fen. Sly. Sly. That man is sly. 3 sounds. S, ul, I. Sly. Mark the word. Sly. Cynic. Cynic. Do not be a cynic about this plan. Cynic. First syllable, si, 2 sounds. S, I. Nick, 3 sounds. N, I, k. Cynic. Mark the word. Cynic. We underline the 2 under Y because we have a vowel at the end of the syllable. Vowel group 2 indicates it will make its long sound, but we have an exception occurring here, and Y is representing the short I sound. Row 7, type. Type. You are not my type. Type, 3 sounds. T, I, p. Type. Mark the word. Type. Defy. Defy. It is not wise to defy authority. Defy. D, 2 sounds. D, E. Phi, 2 sounds. F, I. Defy. Mark the word. Defy. Thyroid. Thyroid. He has a thyroid condition. Thyroid. Thigh, two sounds. I. Roid, three sounds. R, oi, d. Thyroid. Mark the word. Thyroid. Now here, TH is representing its first sound, the sound th, and that's considered to be the voiceless sound for TH. Mystic. Mystic. The saint was a mystic. Mystic. Miss, three sounds. I, s. Tick, three sounds. T, I, k. Mystic. Mark the word. Mystic. Row 8, cymbal. Cymbal. I heard someone strike the cymbal. Cymbal. Now for spelling, let's pronounce it cymbal. First syllable is sim, three sounds. S, I, m. Ball, three sounds. B, aw, ul. Sim, ball. Mark the word. Sim, ball. C is followed by Y, so we double underline the C because it's representing its second sound. Remember, the difference between C and G is that when C is followed by EI or Y, it always represents its second sound. Whereas when G is followed by EI or Y, sometimes it will and sometimes it will not represent its second sound. Abyss. Abyss. He fell into a vast abyss. First syllable is A, one sound. Bis is three sounds. B, I, s. Abyss. Mark the word. Abyss. Apply. Apply. You must apply yourself to the job. Apply. App, two sounds. A, p. Ply, three sounds. P, ul, I. Apply. Mark the word. Apply. Cyclone. Cyclone. A violent cyclone struck the island. Cyclone. First syllable is sigh, two sounds. S, I. Clone, four sounds. K, ul, o, n. Cyclone. Mark the word. We put a half circle under the C and the L to lock those two letters together. They count as a unit of one when you're counting the consonants between your vowel sounds. Row 9, dry. Dry. The conditions are extremely dry. Dry. Three sounds. D, R, I. Dry. Mark the word. Dry. Lymph. Lymph. The patient had the doctor check his lymph nodes. Lymph. Four sounds. Ul, I, m, f. Lymph. Mark the word. Lymph. Cycle. Cycle. The child rode the cycle on the street. Cycle. First syllable, sigh, two sounds. S, I. Cull, two sounds. K, ul. Cycle. Mark the word. Cycle. And in this word, we have vowel group 7 at the end of the word. When a word ends in a consonant followed by LE, then that consonant plus LE join their own syllable. LE represents the vowel sound in that syllable, and the sound it represents is ul, and that's vowel group 7. Gypsum. Gypsum. He worked at a gypsum mining company. Gypsum. Gyp, three sounds. J, I, p. Some, 3 sounds. S, m. Gyp, some. Mark the word. Gyp, some. Our final row 10. Tyrant. Tyrant. He is a tyrant. Now, for spelling, pronounce the word tyrant. Ty, 2 sounds. T, I. Rant, 4 sounds. R, a, n, t. Tyrant. Mark the word. Tyrant. Why? Why? Why do you ask? Why? 2 sounds. W, I. Why? Mark the word. Why? Lynx. Lynx. The lynx is a very stealthy hunter. Lynx. 4 sounds. L, I, x. Lynx. Mark the word. Lynx. Now, why is N representing its second sound in lynx? If you'll remember, N represents its second sound when it's followed by the sounds G or K. And you might say, well, it's followed by the X, but X equals the sound KS combined. So N is followed by the sound K, causing the N to represent its second sound in this word. And our final word is symptom. Symptom. He has a symptom that requires attention. Symptom. The first syllable is simp, and it has 4 sounds. S, I, p. Tom, 3 sounds. T, a, m. Symptom. Mark the word. Symptom. Notice MP is a consonant blend that we are keeping together in the first syllable, so we put half circles under the M and the P, and this completes the dictation of words from lesson 459.